Welcome back, Mushroom Man Toad here, and today I got something exciting for you. You probably saw in the video title already, but really quick before I get into it, first of all, if my voice sounds a little off, I'm kind of losing it right now. Allergy season is in full swing here, and yeah, I'm losing it very fast, so I gotta get this recorded soon. Second of all, I just want to check my mic levels really quick, alright? That looks good. My mic levels keep getting messed up because technology. So yeah. Hopefully everything is good. Hopefully everything is set. Hopefully this sounds good. Hopefully this looks good. And finally, yeah, I made a mining laser. Now sure, it's not that pretty, but it does the job. Like if I come down here, right, it will mine the blocks for me. Now, of course, I haven't textured it. I haven't, done a bunch of fancy stuff. I just wanted to get at the raw commands behind this. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to reproduce this. So my hope is that from this, you do learn a little something about commanding in 1.13. And yeah, I'm just going to get over here to the command blocks. And I'm not even going to try to pretend that I'm scrolling through these command blocks, reading the command, telling them to you. I have them open in a notepad off window. So if you hear a bunch of clicking back and forth, besides my brother's cookie clicker going over there. Hi, bro. Hi. But if you hear a bunch of clicking back and forth from me, that's just me going back and forth to notepad. Alright, so first thing you're going to need to get this set up before you go anywhere else is obviously we're going to use a carrot on a stick, so we're going to need to give ourselves the item. Now the command is going to be on screen now and also at a paste bin in the link in the description down below. So if you want to check this out for yourself, by the way, this is all going to be in the description. So you can check this out if you want to. Now obviously, copy pasting it, probably not the best idea just because you don't learn anything then. And what's the point of, doing all this if, you don't pick something up from it. So yeah. Alright, so we're going to give ourselves a carrot on a stick with a display name, and then this is where JSON formatting gets goofy. Trust me, this is how you have to format it. It looks like this, and I'm just going to give it a little lore that says zap, and then I'm going to give myself one of them. So you'll see, if I hop back over here to my Minecraft window, you'll see in-game, it's called the mining laser, and it's got that little lore of zap. Alright, so the next thing you're going to need then is to set up just two scoreboard objectives really quick. The first one just to track when the player right-clicks. I just call it carrot. And it's Minecraft.used.Minecraft.carrot on a stick. That just ticks one up every time I right-click my carrot on a stick. Yay. And obviously, by the way, just to point this out before we go any farther, this doesn't work on any old carrot on a stick. You actually need the mining laser carrot on a stick to make this work. Just thought I'd point that out really quick. Alright, and then the other command I have over here is you're going to add a scoreboard objective called DT. That's just distance traveled. And it'll be a dummy objective. That way you can keep track of how far the laser has shot so far. And what's nice is then on this last command here, I can make this totally customizable. So let's say I want this to go 2 blocks. Now you'll see much shorter range. And if I come over here and I set this to something high, like 20 blocks, you'll see, I mean, that went a really long way. Yeah, that came out over here. So yeah. So yeah, absolutely customizable just using this last command here. Anyway, I'm going to set this back to the 8 it was, and we're going to keep going through the commands here. So, now that we've got our setup taken care of, once you've given yourself the item and you've set your scoreboard values, you can start setting up the loop. Now, you can put this in a function. As you can see, there's no conditional commands or any of that. It's just this. It's just in a function. This is just easier for you to see in-game, see how it works. So, our first command, and this is a part where I have to switch over to the notepad, because, as you can see, it's fairly long. And don't let that intimidate you, though. It's long, but it's not scary. And here's why. What it says is you're going to execute as every player with a score of carrot greater than 1. So that means if they've right-clicked on a carrot on a stick and their NBT is selected item Minecraft carrot on a stick, and then remember that really complicated tag we set up earlier for like the name and the lore? Well, now that comes back here, so I can just detect if they're holding my item without having to do a bunch of other complicated calculations and stuff. You can just see it all right from here. So you'll see execute as every player that is just right-clicked while holding the mining laser, at every player who's just right-clicked holding the mining laser, and then you're going to run execute as at S, at S, and you have to have that because you're taking the player's coordinates and the fact that they're the player. So you need both of those in there just to make sure you distinguish between players. By the way, multiplayer compatible. Woo! And then you're just going to run summon, an armor stand, and then, you know, it's got all the typical tags, no gravity, invulnerable, small, invisible. And it's also got tags, and then your little square brackets, and then mining laser. And that's how you distinguish that this armor stand is meant to be used for being like the mining laser. So if you didn't figure it out already, when I right click, it spawns an armor stand that flies out away from me and mines blocks in this general direction away from me. That's how the command actually works. And yeah, I'll show you that as we go through the rest of these commands. So now you've spawned this armor stand at your location. And now the next thing we're going to need to do is that we're going to teleport every armor stand that has the tag of mining laser but doesn't have the tag of started. And I'm going to add that tag later once I get some setup stuff done to it. And we're just going to teleport it to the player who spawned it, right? Because you're going to teleport it to the closest player whose score of carat is 1 and who's holding the mining laser. So that will always teleport it to the closest player who's just fired a mining laser. And you need that just to make sure it actually fires from the player. Next command is going to execute from every armor stand that's a mining laser but hasn't started, and at every armor stand that's a mining laser but hasn't started, and it's going to run as that armor stand, and you're going to teleport it up 1.7 blocks, and that's just to kind of align with the player's eyes. I know there's a more precise way to do that, but this was simple and it gets the job done. The next command is super simple. You're going to tag every mining laser that hasn't started, and you're going to give it the tag of started. So now it's not going to run these two setup commands anymore. Instead, it's just going to run anything else we do to it next. And so what do we do to it next? Well, nothing yet. First, we're going to reset every player's score of carat, and you have to do that every tick just to clear that carat score. Otherwise, it would spawn a new armor stand at the player every tick, and you don't want that. So you just got to clear that carat score every tick. And that's true for any contraption that uses a carat on a stick. Next command we're going to run is we're going to execute as every mining laser, and it doesn't matter if it has the tag of started because those commands came before it. So we don't even care if it has the tag of started anymore. That's just to make sure that on the next tick it doesn't run those earlier commands again. So we execute as every armor stand that's a mining laser, at every armor stand that's a mining laser, as at S, at S, and you're going to TP at S, forward 1, right? 3 little carrots. If you put a 1 on the last one, that will teleport it forward in the direction it's facing. And since we teleported it to the player earlier, it's taken the player's rotation, so it will always teleport away from the player in a straight line. By the way, I should show that this works in-game really quick. If I shoot this diagonal, you will see that it does, in fact, mine in a diagonal pattern. Like, it doesn't matter what way you're facing. It will take that direction, and it will be able to mine there. Like, it takes the player's actual rotation. That's what that part does. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1 to every mining laser armor stand's score of DT. That's distance traveled. This is to keep track every tick of how many blocks it's traveled, since it's moving forward 1 every tick. What we want to do is add a score of 1 every tick, and that tells us how many blocks it's traveled. And then that command at the end where I changed it, that's going to kill every armor stand. In fact, I'm just going to skip the next command really quick. This last command here just kills every armor stand with a DT score greater than a certain number, and that's how you can control the distance using just 1 command. Now we're going to hop back a step, and I'm finally going to show you how it actually does the mining. And this is actually really simple because Minecraft has a wonderful built-in feature for this. So we're going to execute as every mining laser armor stand, at every mining laser armor stand. We're going to run as at S. That's going to be run as the armor stand. And then you're going to run an execute unless. And so we're going to chain a bunch of unlesses together, as you can see here. And so that says, unless the block is bedrock, unless it's a command block, unless it's a repeating command block, a chain command block, a barrier, air, a structure block. And you could add more to this list even of unbreakable blocks, such as, the end portal frame. Blocks you don't want broken by the mining laser, that's what you would put in this unless list. And so this unless list, every block you put there is not going to be affected by it. And the way that works is by saying, if even one of those is true, it's not going to run the set block air destroy that's at the end here. And by the way, that destroy lets the block drop its item. So see, if I shoot this right at this command chain, which was really scary the first time I tested it, but as you can see, nothing's going to happen. And if I point it a little lower, you'll see it happens. I'm holding right click, by the way. I know you can't see that, but take my word for it. It's not breaking the command blocks. Alright, there we go. Now that that's been patched up, that is actually it for the command. So it's super, super simple. Just 9 commands in a chain here to make a multiplayer compatible mining laser item. And of course, you could texture this yourself, you know, give it a damage value, resource packs, and all that. This isn't a tutorial for that. This is just for, you know, the command concept. And I think it's neat. You could, of course, always expand on this, as I might do in the future. I don't know. I'm not making any promises, but there's a couple ways you could expand on this, such as, you know, making it upgradable so you can improve its range, or giving it mining levels, so, you know, it can only mine certain blocks at level 1 and then more blocks at 2 and so on. Lots of cool things you could do with it, lots of ways to expand on this, so have fun with it. I do encourage you to play around with it and keep playing around with Minecraft 1.13 commands. Seriously, they're awesome. You gotta check them out. And, you know, just see what you can do, because you could create something awesome, you never know. So definitely give that a go. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got for this video. So I hope you enjoyed and or learned something. If you did, do make sure you hit that like button to show that you like these kinds of videos. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. Thank you for watching. This has been Mushroom Man Toad, and I'll see you in the next one. By the way, if you stuck around through the outro, you get a little bonus. Look at this. You see the shadow beneath the player? It gets darker the closer you get to the ground. I had never noticed that before, but I now think that is just amazing. It's the little things.